Howdy, it's Brook. Hey, I got an idea for some soloing that's pretty manageable. Um, I'm playing this 2007 Flying V today. That is for sale. But enough of that. This is a little shape that's got about 5 notes. I'm going to bend a few of them so it will produce more than 5 tones or notes, but we'll call it 5 notes for now. So I'm thinking key of A. The root is 2nd string 10th fret. I'm using my ring finger for that 2nd string 10th fret. Let's go to the G, which is 2 frets underneath that. The 8th fret going up to the 10th fret. And we like to say that G leads to A when you're in the key of A. Good place to start. So, what's the next note we should hit? Let's do the C. C leads to A. C is on 1st string, 8th fret. So now we've got 3 notes. You should be able to make that sound pretty cool. So before you pile on, a huge scale, make sure you can do something with just 3 notes. Make some phrases. Try to be creative. Yeah. Let's add one more note. 1st string, 10th fret, D. D. Now you've got 4 notes to deal with. With just those 4 notes, you should be able to keep yourself busy for a while. So if you feel like you've exhausted all of your ideas with those 4 notes immediately and want more notes, I think you have to kind of look inside and find some more creativity and just settle on those 4 notes and see how many combinations you can make. So I'm bending the D up to E. The C I'm bending up to maybe a C sharp or a D, or quarter steps of, or 3/4 step, or whole step, 3/4, half. I'm being approximate, quarter. So within that one note, you can find more pitches. And the G, you can bend up to an A. Bending that G less than a whole step may sound kind of weak. Let's talk about bending the A. I often advise students, don't bend the root. I've been teaching them over 45 years, so I have to stop and just sort of kind of process that. That's a small bend. It's like, oh God. Yeah, like if you're at Guitar Center, it's like, oh my God, tune that thing. But you can bend the root. Let me advise you, if you do, try to bend it up to like a C. It's going to sound like, yeah, give it a 1.5 step bend, a whole step, or 1.5 step bend. Okay, let's add one more note. It's the third string, ninth fret E. The E can bend maybe up to a G. So that's going to be another step and a half, a big bend. If you bend it a little bit, you got an F, and that's kind of, if you want an F, there it is, but, or a whole step. Makes me kind of nauseous. Well, just because I taught in music stores on Saturday mornings after playing like a gig and getting home at like 5:30 in the morning and probably having a little bourbon or something, just being tired, mainly fatigue, and some kid comes in like, I don't feel so good. That's why I chuckle. So they can sound okay, but mainly be careful about bending the root and the fifth. That's a and a E. But you can really get a lot of good sounds out of bending the D, C, and G. So stick with those three main those three main notes for safety purposes. For sanitary reasons. All right, let's bring up the slide. If you use your middle finger to slide into that third string, ninth fret, or into the A, you can slide into anything. It just adds a little drama, Otherwise, it's just kind of wah, 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 wah. This to me sounds like you're scooping into it. That was kind of cool. So I'm still, I approach this as a beginner every day. I'm still surprised by the different sounds you can get. So I'm too lazy to pick up a pick. It's pretty early in the morning, so I'm using thumb and middle and index. That was like a C, A, G, E. C, A, G, E. With a pull-off. And I'm just planting my fingers in place. So strategically leaving your fingers in a position can pay off. So when I'm hanging out in this position, I might keep my index laying on the 8th fret on 2 strings. Alright, a lot of that sounds the same, and that's cool. You don't really need to play the whole neck. You don't have to be, Paganini when you're soloing. Really, like if I always imagine these blues jams we held at Parlor City I participated in for a few years, if we're just going like a 1-chord boogie, just hanging out. It's a Tuesday night, nobody really cares, and you just come up and we're like, brilliant. Space. Wait. Now. Space. Wait. And. Real simple, So you don't have to strain yourself. You don't have to come up with something brilliant every time. It can be very simple. Very simple is effective. Make it just sound memorable with a handful of notes. That's just 5 notes with some bends. Gives us some kind of between the notes. Like a little C sharp would be a major third of A. A D sharp would be the flatted 5th. Wow. So those half step bends are really, really cool. Cool, man. You get the idea. All right, this is old Brookie with his Flying V. It's a 2007. It's for sale. It's got a nice soft case. It's a SKB case. It's very protective, but it's not a giant coffin size thing, you know. This thing is awesome, man. These play really, really easy. Really fun to play. Kind of hard to play sitting down. So I've got it kind of sitting like this, but standing up. I played it on the couch last night for a few hours, and man, I just laid back and... All right, bonus feature. I'm going to take this up an octave. Pretty easy access to the higher notes. A lot of my students like to stay down, on the first, 4 or 5 frets. I'm like, okay, first lesson. Let's go way up to the 22nd fret. You are responsible to know every note on your neck, so you should know this is D, C, A, G, E. Dig. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Get practicing.